after where we're not in a hurry. I think that we've taken the time, especially on labor negotiations and things. I feel that we've had more time. Every time we have closed session in the morning, it's, well, we got to hurry up and get through this. We got to get back out there because we got items on the agenda, you know, and everything. It's always a push. And I think it cuts us short on our, you know, our labor relations and employee evaluations. Those are important issues, and I don't want to feel rushed. And where if you do that at the end of the day, I feel it gives you the time to vet out all the issues.
But on the other hand, it's like after 4 now, and we haven't even gotten to our rather lengthy list of closed session items. We haven't even begun.
Well,
Yeah, but we're not sitting here saying something out there is driving us to close things down. And I really find that objectionable when we say, well, why the devil, if we knew it was going to take this long, didn't we allocate more time to it? That requires even more manipulation of the budget, I mean, of the agenda. And so I tend to favor the end of the day process myself, even though we're tired, or we can be tired and cranky and still make good decisions. It's better than hurrying up and making a wrong decision in the morning because somebody was waiting out there to discuss their favorite issue.
Supervisor Brown, what's your feeling?
I agree with several of the points. I would prefer actually seeing it at the end of the day because I would hope we could get through business and get in and not have to invoke the 5:30 rule and get it done with. But on the other hand, I think County Council has made a good point, perhaps a compromise of opening up with public comment at 9 a.m. and as soon as public comment is through, we go into closed session. That's my compromise.
Well, I don't see that. It's either, do you want to have closed session after the public expression in the morning, you want to wait till in the afternoon? There's a big difference. I don't see a compromise here. It's either morning or after business hours. I mean,
You're doing both.
Huh?
You do both anyway.
Fair
Let
pinches.
people speak in the morning and the afternoon.
On the issue, on the issues,
On
they
even
get
public
to,
expression.
on each agenda item, they get to speak on that.
Well, but you don't make any effort to hold them to the actual topic at hand, to limit the number of times they can say the same thing.
Well, as I said earlier, Supervisor McCowan, not everybody in this county has the ability to walk to this building. I mean, your district does. My district and even the coastal district and, well, all the rest of the districts, you know, this is a huge county. And when somebody comes all the way and takes a day off work and comes over to this board meeting, whether it's 9:05 in the morning or 4 in the afternoon, I'm going to give them the opportunity to speak. I think that's what we're here for, to do the public business.
Mr. Chair, we grant to everyone the opportunity to speak. That's part of our
I would
rule.
like to get back to the verbiage here and stop the debate because we are wasting time, please.
Chair Pinches, if I might suggest, we, as a matter of practice, put closed session out towards the end of the day. We are always able to talk with County Council if there's a pressing litigation item. We could ask the board to consider our lunchtime closed session for that one topic, as long as you're willing to work with us, and we'll try this for a few more sessions. And if it presents a material challenge, we can always bring it back.
Okay. And then that's fine with me, too.
Okay. Is there agreement to that?
Sure.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay, now we need to come back to the one issue.
To the 5:30 rule, I
5:30.
took a stab at language for the second sentence. If our clerk could read the first sentence again that she has proposed.
Business shall normally be conducted between 9 a.m. to 5:30 p.m.
And then I would say the board may continue past 5:30. However, at any time from 5:30 onward, any member may invoke the 5:30 rule, at which time all business shall be adjourned except, and then continue on with the motions to be voted, et cetera. That, you want to hear it one more time? Or?
Yes.
Want me to read it, or do you want to read it?
The board, so the first sentence is regular business shall normally adjourn at 5:30, be conducted between 9 and 5:30. And then the board may continue past 5:30. However, at any time from 5:30 onward, any member may invoke the 5:30 rule, at which time all business shall be adjourned except motions on the floor shall be voted upon, closed session may be considered by consent of a majority of the board, time-sensitive items with unanimous consent of the members present, et cetera.
I think it could be much more economically expressed by saying the board shall conduct, will normally go from 9 to 5:30 unless a member requests, objects, unless any member objects, at which time, and all business shall cease except, and then we continue to it. We continue with the rest of what you've said. In other words, we don't have to go back and forth about unanimous. It is, if you say it normally
Well,
continues.
the unanimous stuff is in the exceptions. That's not in this.
It's in the original, it's in the original. And that's
Well,
what I'm-
yeah, but that went away. That's already
Well,
gone.
when you say normally conducted, though, under what circumstances, that's what we're trying to avoid, is what is normal, what's abnormal. The normal process is normally will continue, if necessary, past 5:30 unless a member objects, in which case,
Well, then you don't have a name for the 5:30
you
rule.
shouldn't have one. I mean, you don't need it. You simply invoke that rule. I object to continuing this meeting past, it's 5:31, I object, and we say, oh, that's it.
Well,
That's the 5:30 rule in its manifestation. There's no definition of the 5:30 rule in any of the previous materials.
Although the 5:30 rule has a life of its own, so all
Well-
this does is explain what it is that we do and why it's called what it is commonly called.
We're throwing out picturesque language.
well, how about this? How about business shall normally be conducted between 9 and 5:30 p.m.?
If any.
Any board member may invoke and then put the 5:30 rule in quotes, then you know it's something separate at any time from 5:30 onward. And just leave it.
At which
What's
time?
wrong with the wording that's in there in this booklet right now? It says,
There weren't any exceptions, Supervisor. That was the problem, is that you would invoke that 5:30 rule and we'd all be done. And I'm left with no closed session time, motions on the floor, it's confusing for the clerk. We were trying to incorporate exceptions to it.
And we agreed on the hard part, and then we spent 15 minutes arguing over semantics.
so I want to poll board members, let's get through this here.
Which page are we on?
We have the McCowan
Page
proposal, the
414.
Colfax proposal.
Page 414.
And the Nadell proposal.
Unless one or more members say enough is enough.
What are you pulling people?
Yeah, I'm trying to interject this wording with what's in these proposal here. It says, I don't see a problem with what's proposed. It has the exceptions.
In what is written
The
here.
only thing, it does quote, in quotes, the 5:30 rule, and that, but it says what happens. It says, you don't even need to say the 5. It says, regular meetings shall adjourn no later than 5:30 unless extended by unanimous
we have to
consent
get
of the board members present, period. Does anybody have a problem with that?
Yes, because it was that issue of what's the unanimous, that you'd have to take an action. That's why we had eliminated that before.
Right.
So then we have the new first sentence that addresses that.
And what would that be?
Business shall normally be conducted between 9 a.m. and 5:30 p.m., period.
Unless, and then you go and you say, unless a member objects.
How about without objection?
No, business will be held between 9 and 5:30, even if one member does object. We're still going to have the board meeting that day.
No.
That would be a
Well,
period.
okay, one member says, I don't want to go past 5:30.
No,
That's the
but,
5:30
no,
rule.
what the first sentence says, normal business will be held between 9 and 5:30, period. No board member can object to that.
Well, no, but then you could say, without objection, the board may continue. However, at any time from 5:30 onward, any member may invoke the 5:30 rule, at which time all business shall be adjourned, except.
That's good enough.
That's fine.
That's,